Hi, good day. This is Father Richard Hinel from the Order of the Most Holy Trinity. Welcome to my Kwento na may Kwenta. Have you tried experiencing something today in which you realize that kind of particular experience exactly happened already, long time ago? People call it deja vu, but that deja vu experience allowed me to confirm to myself how God calls me and how He prepared for me into religious life, into being a priest. About 7 years ago, I was walking in the cold Manhattan along Wall Street. The snow was so thick. It was my first time to be in the United States. And so, coming from a tropical country, you can only enjoy snow for about 10 minutes and the rest is horrible kind of experience because your body is not used to cold kind of temperature. And so I went straight into a church trying to find warmth. As I opened the church, all of a sudden, the same kind of experience, the same kind of picture and even smell was completely the same. And that kind of experience was I had when I was growing up back here in the Philippines, when I was young, as small as 7 years old. That particular experience in Manhattan brought me into a great realization of the kind of decisions making and the kind of things that happened to me, good and bad, rough and tough kind of experiences in life, people I met and people moved and went to another direction. All the decisions that happened in my life were part and parcel of God's planning for me in order to arrive in that kind particular instance. That particular instance really brought me into realization that God has really called me into religious life, into priesthood. Such calling allows me to realize God, no matter how much decision making you make in life, the freedom that you have to choose good and bad, even bad decisions, even sins, or even falling or derailment from your plans, God has His own way of putting you back into His plans for you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So, this decision making allowed me to realize God has so much plans for me, even without me knowing it. It brought me to places and allowed me, unfold me right in my face how He plans things for me. Not only one deja vu experience, but it happened in several places, even in Latin America, in different places in the United States. It brought me here today, here in the Philippines, to bring about the community and open our first community here in the Philippines, the Trinitarian community. I believe you and I are being called by God in one way or another. He has His own plans for you. It may not be as deja vu as I had, but God has its own way of calling you. It's a matter of opening your eyes, opening your ears, trying to heighten how God calls you. Because in one way or another, it's not about you trying to realize your dreams or understanding your vocation, but honing your ears towards how God calls you. Religious life is not being a higher person or a better person if you decide to become a priest or a nun. But it's understanding what can you make for the world selflessly as you can to serve others. When you are able to do that, you will be so happy. You will find joy. You will discover how God calls you without really thinking of what you can make for yourself, but how to make others happy brings about the real vocation that God has called you. Find your way. Discern what God calls you to be. He plans way big for you. Dream for it. Thank you, and God bless.